I'm out in the garage. We're actually going to do some fab work. I need to get this overflow tank. I should have did it when I first bought it because I just kind of made it fit somewhere that like wasn't ideal. And it's going to go back in that location, but I'm actually going to make the tank a better shape for that location. So it's finally time to make it, you know, actually kind of like, we'll say custom to this bike now, even though it's an Amazon overflow tank. We're going to cut it up a little bit and just make it a little better fit for what I'm actually doing instead of just kind of force it into the application. And as you can see, it's kind of dark out. I got the garage door open, but we're expecting more storms again today. So if you hear thunder and you know, the rain gets kind of loud, that's what it is. But for now, I need to put a tank back on this thing. This is so weird. I'm pointing off to the wall on the side of the garage to get my finger to look at the bike right there. Anyway, YouTube things. Yeah, so we're gonna get cutting on that, and then we'll do some welding. I'll show you what I'm gonna do here. So, as one could see, when this is in the tail here, oh, it's gotta come in from the bottom. This is gonna get awkward. So it just kind of sits back in here, and you can see it sits at an angle, which ain't the worst. But as we talked about before, that puts the petcock to drain it at a not low spot. So what I'm going to do is draw a line across the bottom from where like my thumb is to just back past where that petcock is. And what I'll do is we're going to do some creative cutting on this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it right here. I'm going to cut this whole bottom piece off. And then I'm going to cut this off from where I make my cut here on the back side of this bung, because I'm going to save that bung. So I'm going to cut from the back side of the bung, and then we're going to cut over to just to the bottom side of these fittings here. Then what I'll do is I'm going to take this flat piece here and we're going to flip it. We're going to put this over here, and then we'll see how that works. I'm probably going to have to add material, but at least I can reuse this, and we'll make it look like it's something kind of presentable. But I got to start with getting this cut to what I need first. So here's the deal. This is how we're going to do our cut. Just got to cut across them silver lines. So I'm going to get the cutoff wheel out. We're going to buzz that off, and then we'll do a little flipperoonie on it, and we'll see what we get. I got this all cut, so you can kind of see this is how it would have been. And this is actually how it sits in the bike, kind of tipped. So now what we're going to do is flip that around. Now when it's in the bike, we basically got like a sump going on. Now that petcock will be the lowest point, and I don't lose actually any volume of the tank, because all we did was take the same amount of material and space and flip it around. So I'm going to get this all situated and cleaned up, ready to weld. I started buffing the coating off of this thing. I'm going to get my welder over here. Never mind the bench. I moved stuff in because of the rain and the wind coming. But I'm going to get set to weld this, and then we'll get this welded up. I'm undecided yet if I'm going to take the other filter top off of this. Actually, it would be this one here. I was going to take this off and cap it. I'm undecided if I want to do that yet or not. I'm kind of not sure what to do. It'd just be nice to have an option for something, so we'll see. I don't know. I'm just going to start getting things ready to go here. I got this thing all clamped up how I want it. I'm going to go ahead and get it tacked, and then yeah, I guess we'll just we'll weld her up and get her mounted and see how everything looks. There's a spider in the helmet crawling on my nose. I should use this thing more often. I forgot what was tickling me. Movie flies. and I don't care. Not bad. Now that's what sump. Get it? What I did there? What's sump? That turned out really good. It's like when the bike's on the ground, it'll be just about. This thing's in here kind of loose yet. Sorry for the shaky camera. I'm kneeling down. This thing's kind of loose yet, but it'll tip up just a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, for just doing a cut and a flip, I couldn't ask for that to be any better. Maybe not perfect, but definitely better than how it was set up with the drain up here. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not sure if I'm just going to cap this and kind of keep it for future ideas. I don't know. Maybe I should just get rid of it and be done with it. Make the thing look a little cleaner. So for now, I'm going to sit and have a mellow yellow and ponder what to do with that fitting yet, or that filter mount. So we'll see. So I opted for the complete cutoff. And I'm going to go ahead and cap that, but I came with an idea to do something kind of neat. But I'll show you when it's all said and done. So the next time you see this, it'll have the cap on it, and I'll have it all painted and probably even back on the bike. So I'm not going to time lapse all that. It's just going to be a bunch of me just doing some more of what I've already done with the welding, and then we're going to watch paint dry. So stay tuned, and I'm curious if you think what I do here was actually going to be kind of neat. So I got a couple coats on here already. I said I wasn't going to probably show you until it was back on the bike, but yeah, whatever. It's actually turned out pretty good. We're not going with black. I scuffed it all up. I DA'd what I could that was flat and kind of blended in where the raw aluminum was and where the coating, the original coating was. I just blended it all in, and it actually is turning out really good. But I like this stuff here, this Rust-Oleum engine enamel, the cast iron coat. This stuff dries super fast, and it actually is pretty durable from what I've seen so far. I did the valve cover on that, and then the starter drive covers on the right-hand side of the motor with this color. Actually looks really cool. It's just a nice contrast from seeing black on everything. But I think it'll look kind of cool in the tail. Like, I don't know, if we're gonna make useful parts, we might as well make them look kind of neat too. But I'm gonna let this dry, and then we'll get it on the bike and start hooking stuff back up. And I think it's gonna look pretty neat. So I got all my fittings back on here. I got the petcock back in the bottom. It's painted. Dry. This is what I came up with to cap that hole. So everything's taped except for this top. I left as like a raw aluminum. This is what I'm going to do with it. Some of you might already kind of know what's coming here. This will be hidden unless the tail comes off, but it'll be kind of neat. Gives it just a finished touch. Make sure she's nice and clean and dry. Ta-da! I think that looks pretty cool. I didn't realize how bad it was glaring when you were looking at it from over here, but yeah, it turned out really nice. So I mean, if I'm going to cap that off, I might as well give the shape some style and make it the shape of the sticker. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. Just a quick little, like, what are we going to do on a rainy day to make things a little bit better kind of project. Never mind that little booger in the weld there, that guy. It was something in the weld there, but we buttered it out. She's fine. I got another filter coming. I got a nice new one that'll put on there, and I just got to reconnect my hoses. I'm going to change up a little something there too with how I got it routed. My previous way created kind of a problem once I moved it to the top of the valve cover. There was a little bit of an issue going on, but I'm going to correct it, and we just keep finding things to improve on. So it took me way too many minutes to figure out where to sit and still have the catch can kind of in the view here for the the project of the video. I don't know why I use air quotes, it just seems fitting. But yeah, again, every time I take the bike out, I find something I want to improve on or make a little nicer, a little better. And the big part here is I waited way too long to get 220 out in the garage, because welding that thing, I had a couple spots where I struggled where there was just crap in the aluminum because whatever the coating is that's on it. But it eventually did weld good. And being able to run my TIG welder on 220 now, like, it's so much nicer. I can run beads. I can actually get some heat into the material. And yeah, just a huge payoff with being able to do stuff like this on a whim, just because now I have the capabilities to do it. And it's kind of why I didn't modify the tank previously, is I knew even starting that project, trying to weld on 110, the welder's just, it's not happy. I mean, I have capability of going up to like, I think it was like 140 amps, I think it'll do on 110, but it just never welded good. And now that I got 220 going into it, everything about the machine runs smoother, strikes arcs better. It's not struggling to kind of get the arc, started or initialized or whatever. But yeah, so after the last time at the track, I figured, we got a little bit of an issue here we need to address with just how that's laid out for just an off-the-shelf tank. Now it's modified to how I should have had it done in the first place, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Just even from, how well it welded, eventually, minus a couple little bloopers. But even like getting the little shape cut out to plug the front part of the front filter hole, and then having a little spot for the sticker. It's just it just makes it personalized. It's kind of fun making stuff for the bike that's kind of nice looking and not like I did it in a gravel parking lot, which a lot of what I have done in the past looks that way, because I've just struggled to have the right equipment, and we're just every day I get a little more what I need to do stuff right. But yeah, so this video, kind of another one of them, just get out in the garage and do something. Find a part on the bike you want to modify and just get after it. Doesn't have to be something you got to TIG weld. Just go, cut, grind, shape, bend, whatever, glue it together if you gotta. But I'm sure I'll do another video yet before we get loaded up for War in the Woods coming up. It's Sunday now, so we gotta, Friday, yeah, I gotta be probably at the track by Friday morning. I think I should be down there. First round are running on Friday night, and then if I make it past first round, I'll be racing on Saturday. So fingers crossed for that. If I lose first round, I don't know how long I'll stick around. I'd like to watch some of them bad cars get down that track. But yeah, for now, hope you had fun kind of watching this. Me just, dicking around out in the garage. More motorcycle parts. But see you in the next video.